Playbook. You can also find us on all podcast platforms as well as Anchor and Spotify. Hi, Walker.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm well.
All right. So hello to everyone in the chat room. Mm-hmm. The tribe is in the house tonight. We also have people watching as we stream through Instagram. So it's been sort of an interesting day. You know, we're watching behind the scenes all these manufactured weather manipulations happening.
Crisis.
So crisis. And they just love to create this manipulation to keep us in a state of panic and chaos. So with that said, it's been an interesting week for us, and I'm sure many of you.
That it has been, for sure.
So tonight, hi everyone. Hello, Siani. Hello, Sandra. Hello, Sia. Hello, Kaylee. Hello, everyone. Hello, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So tonight's show, Quantum Playbook, is about playing the quantum field. So a lot of people are asking us already and doing readings with us and getting their cellular vitality resets done. Everyone's in this like preparation mode, moving into 2022. But we get asked a lot about the manifesting component. So as you know, being very well versed in quantum energy and quantum healing and quantum physics, our teachings of manifesting is very different than the basic average law of attraction that has sort of gone to the wayside over the last several years. People are noticing that a lot of times when they're manifesting, a lot of their shit never happens. It never comes to be. This old programming that you write something 3 times, you speak of it 3 times, you visualize it 3 times.
Click your red heels together.
Yeah, click your red heels 3 times.
Spin around.
I see a lot of people teaching this from the Tesla teachings of 369. When, if anyone in the Tribe of Eden TV knows, I've channeled Tesla. He was very clear in that channel experience of what 369 represented in terms of the energy sources and the energy codes within the chakra system and how that contributes to humanity and co-creation with the universe and creating some really big things, which he was a quantum inventor. So, so a lot of people ask us, so we thought it would be fun to have what we call the Quantum Playbook, so we can kind of talk about what this actually means. Mm-hmm. So quantum manifesting is not the same. We don't teach it the same. So if it doesn't resonate with you, if it doesn't resonate, maybe just listen or change, maybe it might change your perspective or fill in the blanks to things that are missing. We're not here to change anyone's belief system. We're only going to continue to teach it in the way that we know it, the way we live it. How about that? Because everything we teach, we live by. And a lot of people who know us personally are very much in the knowing of that. There's nothing we usually teach that we're not doing.
That's very true.
Yeah. So anything you want to add in about this Quantum Playbook?
Well, so much of the mainstream thought with the New Age movement and stuff is all of these like rituals, right? You gotta do a certain ritual. It's almost prayer-like, right? It's almost like
which doesn't work.
Yeah, it's almost like a religious kind of construct without the spirituality component in it.
So spiritual work is spirit with a ritual.
It's a spirit ritual.
So those who are in quantum 5D consciousness, those people who do ritual work see amplification of the energy all the time because they're creating ritual work based on the spiritual component. And there's a lot, people who especially when they're doing spectra, a lot of your spectra practitioners do ritual work, they see a lot of results. So those who do spectra healing and spectra energy infusion and, their ritual work or anything within their own life to move energy. So ritual work's about moving energy.
And remember, one of the prerequisites to Spectra, being a Spectra practitioner, is to have a quantum soul retrieval.
Mm-hmm.
So they've had a quantum soul retrieval, meaning they've already invested in that spirit ritual of self-love.
Mm-hmm.
So using that from then, they actually have the ability, because they're in a space of, okay, everyone, it's about service to others, right? But
Mm-hmm.
how about self is also included in others? It doesn't have to be just self,
Mm-hmm.
but there does have to be a foundation there, or else the whole thing crumbles.
Yep.
So with the when someone does a ritual,
Mm-hmm.
does that mean like it happens immediately for them? Is that playing the quantum field?
It depends on the individual, because you've watched me do my own ritual work and how quickly things shift.
Mm-hmm. But I've also
and change.
seen,
But you've also, go ahead.
With like you said, the Quantum Playbook, it's like playing against a team, right? Like
yes, it's very difficult because
almost
you're
playing against your past self team.
Well, for me, it's playing against the Matrix.
Well,
So
the Matrix
dark
uses
forces.
a mirror of your former self to hijack. That's kind of like playing against your old, like your new self is looking to do something. So you put this playbook together and you go, okay, ready, 3, 2, 1, break. And then you're like, no, that they weren't supposed to go. No, oh, now the playbook's all messed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Playing the quantum field, is it just like, oh, it's very linear? Because a lot of people think they do this ritual, they put it into play, and then bam, they're going to get what they want.
No, because there's forces that shift that for us outside of our control. It's not just about our mirrored or old self. There's also energy forces manipulating timelines and manipulating things on the outside world that can hijack or interject or filter or infiltrate the things that you are doing. That's why when I say to do ritual work, I say keep it private unless you're teaching it. Then, keep your ritual work very sacred,
right,
and don't worship or invoke anything. So as long as you're doing that, I personally use a lot of different stuff. I mean, you saw the box I just got from Sia, who's live with us, Celestial Oils by Sia. I mean, she sent a whole box of stuff. I have, dried roses. I have bay leaves. I have incense. I have cones. I have special resin bowls. I have, I have the albacore shell. I mean, just all kind of glass bowls. I mean, so everything has its own place.
Mm-hmm.
And the person doing the ritual has to keep the spiritual component, because there's a difference between just ritual work versus spirit ritual, where you're using your higher self as the guide to what it is you're trying to change. But playing the quantum during ritual work is learning to manipulate and shift energy. You have to be able to change energy. If you can't, we are all capable of doing it because we're energy beings. Everything, we're all made up of energy. So people are always asking us, well, my manifesting's not working. I'm stuck. I'm stagnant. I probably would start learning some self-care, self-love through spirit ritual work. Right. Learning ritual from those who actually do it, that are authentic and well-versed in it.
Yeah, no. And I guess what I'm getting at is when we come from a fifth dimensional consciousness and we're looking into that parallel or alter reality where we've already achieved what we want, or we're already going for that goal, when that translation comes back into fourth density, it can get very distorted, can't it?
Yes.
And it can look like the opposite of what we asked for. So when you play the quantum field, when we talk about the playbook, it's like the team goes back out, they play that play, it didn't go as planned, and the playbook slightly alters and changes, but the same goal is there, correct? The same kind of theme or direction is still there, but the play might change, knowing full well in the playbook that you're going to win. And each play that goes down that doesn't go your way, it's a transition phase.
But with any game, you have to just then realign.
That's what I'm saying.
You rethink the play, and then you kind of go with the new energy of, okay, well, this didn't work, so how do we?
Well, how many people try to play a quantum field? They immediately get the result they don't want, so they throw the playbook out.
Oh, so many. That's why we're having this conversation. And moving into 2022, because remember, the final decision of sovereignty happens on December 21st, 2021. There is no option after that. So choosing sovereignty, we're not here to wake anyone else up. We're not going to be doing that. We're not going to be talking about like that. We are done. We are exhausted, tired. It's been a great 12 years. Thank you for guiding us to all those we've helped awaken, but that part of our mission is completed. We are moving into bigger and better things for those already awakened and kind of in that 5D move into 6D, somewhere between the two, or still in 5D and just want to kind of still work with that energy,
right? Which
is great.
Right.
So with that said, we're going to get to some of the questions in the chat because I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of questions.
I'm sure.
But using ancient civilization tools for manifesting is something we've been talking about for months since we actually started the tribe. We are moving into ancient civilization with the Nova Earth, and Nova meaning new. So the new Nova Earth. And with that said, using things like essential oils, herbs, plants, plant medicine is going to be huge in 2022. So really working with, pure things that are aligned with your spiritual higher self, your connection to source, your belief systems, whatever aligns with you is great to get started with right now. So many people wait till right on New Year's Eve. True. And it's like, I've been already prepping for January 1st since September.
Prepping with a goal in mind, but not trying to, like you say, play spiritual detective.
No, too
people
many
think
people.
Prepping, people think that when you've been prepping for the new year or something, they feel like, I think they tend to associate that you're already living in the new year. You're already thinking about it. You're already worrying about it. You're already putting things together. Mm-hmm. Prepping is more so, what can you do within this hour?
Yes.
To shift and change the vibration of your long-term goal. And I think perhaps when we're talking about rituals, like we said, these aren't religious rituals. If you think of a spiritual practice, right? That's a self-love practice. That's an awareness practice. Something as simple as getting up in the morning and having a disciplined routine where you do a specific thing, and because you do that thing, the outcome is a certain way. That is what we mean by a ritual, not something where you're sitting there invoking spirits or a higher power or something to give you what you want, because there's an unequal exchange when that happens.
And Siani has a great point. So Siani, I'm going to clear it. Invoking is not the same as divine intervention. When you are asking for guidance or assistance from our galactic council or our spirit guides, there's a difference between asking for divine intervention of assistance rather than invoking the usage of that divine's energy. They're two different things. Invoking comes along the lines of more witchcraft. Mm-hmm. That is more like the Wicca pagan belief system. We don't teach that. That it does not work well with quantum. The two don't work together.
And when we talk about quantum sovereignty, your sovereignty of being able to play the quantum field, if you're invoking a spirit or you're asking for it to do for there to be exchange, it gives you something in exchange. You have to give it something, or you owe it energy. Mm-hmm. That doesn't allow you to play the quantum field because it ties you into one timeline. Mm-hmm. In this place of servitude, because it's codependency.
Correct. And spell magic which is also used to move energy, has been around since the beginning of time. But the problem is that we've been so indoctrinated to believe that spell work is negative and that magic is negative that, you know, how come we're taught as kids how beautiful magic can be and how gorgeous it is, and how we watch all these fantasy movies and magic's used in everything, and it's just it ignites us, it makes us feel happy and special, and we wish we could be children again and all these things, because magic and spell work was originally intended to move energy. It was since the beginning of time.
It's the original quantum playing field.
It really is.
But if you think of spell work as formulate programs into motion, right? I do something and this is what it does. So this is its meaning. And when I do that, this is the meaning. This is the meaning behind it. It's the follow through of what we're talking about. When she was just talking about like asking for divine intervention, they will place that request in front of you, but it's still your choice.
Yes, you still have to choose.
Meaning that they're not doing it for you. It's an assistance piece where they place it. Then you make that, is that really what you want? You make that decision or that choice, because at the end of the day, that sovereignty is still intact and you don't owe them anything. This is not this weird exchange of energy and constantly being drained, serving some higher authority or lower authority.
I just did a reading for somebody, and on her response after she, wrote these beautiful things about loving her reading and all that, the last sentence she wrote was, well, my universe better get it together and start moving things around so this happens for me.
You do that.
And I laughed to myself, because that is a third dimensional consciousness. Anyone who sits here and thinks that the universe is going to do things for us, that you'll be in the same position literally 20 years or until you demise from this world. We are in control of our own energy, and we are in control of taking those steps towards that energy outcome. If anyone who's a sitting duck, and I specifically say this in all my teachings, my books, everything, if you are a sitting duck to the universe and you're sitting waiting for the magic, because we are the magic. If you are waiting for the magic to arrive, or you're waiting for this whisk of change and you're waiting, you'll still be freaking waiting. And then we'll be having another conversation, because life is going to be flying by, because you've been sitting waiting, because you've been somehow told to prey upon or
be preyed upon.
And you are preyed upon, because people are telling you, well, just believe in these things and it'll happen for you, and then sit and wait for it. No, it will not happen. You'll just be sitting there and you'll create like a repellent in which you're actually pushing your manifestation away.
And so when we say that you ask for divine intervention, like she said, being a sitting duck is not the follow through. If you're not making the follow through, it's beautiful to be a dreamer. You can be a dreamer all day long and have that beautiful right brain creativity. But if there isn't the left brain direction, the order to it, to move forward, to make it happen in some way, or to start to create that spiritual, right? That spirit ritual thing of self-love, self-care, and putting that time in, then why is the universe going to do anything? When we look at something that we don't have, or when we see a goal that we're looking to achieve, that is a reality that is not our reality, right? Because we don't currently have it. So if we continue to try to do the same things to get it, we're going to continue to stay the same. When we play the quantum field, it's not about what we're doing to achieve that reality. It's about who we are being. What kind of person, what kind of reality do they experience? What kind of rituals, right? Meaning, like, what kind of connection do they have to themselves that they get to experience this kind of reality? Because when people say, well, I'll just have to just shift my timeline, you can't shift your timeline according to your personal reality. You can shift who you are and change who you are as a personality, meaning you grab certain characteristics from people and go, oh, I'm going to make those mine. by creating a ritual. Maybe it's a physical thing where you get up, like I do. I get up and do 25 push-ups in the morning. That's part of activating the body. That's part of my spiritual practice.
Yeah.
Just doing that sets me up to become my goal, to be that person now who gets to experience that kind of reality that has those things and does those things and lives reality that way.
And you can add in, you know, based on what Walker said, anything that resonates with you that assists in that amplification of that energy. Maybe after you wake up and you do these routines or anything, maybe you decide that wearing, like I'm wearing, you know, him and I both are really big on grounding jewelry. Maybe you need something like that. Maybe that's your ritual. You put it on every day or you change it out every day. Maybe it's as simple as drinking tea before bed or making something that you create. We're really big on, we're big tea drinkers, but we do old school. So we have the little tea leaves and we have, you know, we put the actual leaves in and then we dunk it. It's rare we buy the actual tea bags. So you have to do things.
Steeper, we use the
steeper. That's the name of it. So you want to be able to do things, you know, we're real big on essential oils, doTERRA. You know, I'm a wellness advocate. That's the only brand that I use, period. I do not use any other brands. I don't buy from any other retailers, nothing. doTERRA is my go-to, has been as a doctor of natural health for a long time. So maybe you're into essential oils as an adjunct to some of the, you know, ritual stuff that Walker was talking about. It could be as simple as maybe you have a new moon thing or a moon thing. You know, it's okay to play with spell work and magic. I still work with dark crafting, dark arts, and I'll never stop. And I don't care what people think about it. I don't invoke anything negative. I don't invoke dark forces, but my dark side of my skill, being able to have worked with the dark all these years, allows me to pull that darkness out and fuel it into something very light. And so for me, it's my fastest way to move energy, because if I'm having a low vibration, I pull in my skill of the dark arts and I shift it and I pull into the light. So it's very quick for me. And that is not witchcraft, even though I love witchcraft.
Well, you're not using evil. You're not using
I'm
lower
not,
demons
but it's still
or spirits.
a form of witchcraft.
So most forms of dark arts require your connection to some sort of spirit or some sort of dark connection of some kind, giving your energy to it. It's all, you know, you see like the you know, they cut their wrists and they give them blood, and then, or they, you know, sacrifice something, a goat or something. Those are what is considered traditional dark arts.
That's a good one. You know what? When we come back from the break, we're gonna kind of dissect that a little bit better.
Okay, perfect.
I think we should do that. So thank you for joining us. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back after the commercial break. Instagram, you can stay here. We're going to Tribe of Eden True Version show. That was a great first half. Dark to light. So thank you again for tuning in. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Moving into 2022, we will no longer be streaming live on Instagram. It will be Facebook and YouTube only. So please make sure you head over to our YouTube pages to follow us. if for 2022. The show is going on break for 2 weeks. We are taking a 2-week break. So we will return with the first episode of 2022. Our season 4 begins January 12th. So we will only be streaming on Facebook and YouTube. No longer, we already stopped streaming on TikTok, no longer on Instagram. So if you want to continue to be a part of the show, please head over to one of those 2 pages.
Head over on Meta, right? We'll go hang out on Meta with the opinion checkers.
On Meta. So here's what's interesting about the first half of the show. I think this was great content, but Walker brought up a very good point that I think we should pretty much clarify. We were talking a little bit about magic, spell work, ritual work, and keeping the spiritual component into it, and how I'm very drawn to witchcraft. I always have been since I've been a kid, but I don't use it in a negative light. I use it in a very loving way and very powerful, energetic way for myself. I don't put spells on people. That's all bullshit. I don't put curses. That's all bullshit. Or hexes. That is all bullshit. I think it's
hexes
fun.
are a pretty dangerous thing to be playing with right now because the vibrations are so high. Those things will bounce back so fast on your ass.
Yeah.
Do not play with that shit.
Yeah. A lot of people, I think, don't realize that when they're playing that type of craft, that really they're actually boomeranging high powered back to them.
Especially if they're trying to hex sovereign beings. Yeah. That shit comes back 4 times as more powerful in their space.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you guys are doing witchcraft, we're not here to discredit your work, but we will continue to teach it the way we know it. And, but there's so much greatness with witchcraft and magic and spell work and ritual work and things like that. So with that said, if you are connecting, I follow so many awesome people, that have like the contents for that type stuff on Instagram and Facebook. So, and I have, magic books that I've read for years. So those are the books that I will read. I know I tell you I don't read anything about my psychic mediumship, but when it comes to herbs and doing spell work, I have had that in my space for many, many, many years. So if you're connecting with that, that's a sign. There's some sort of an ancient pulling. I feel like it might be someone's calling. If you're really drawn to that, and I just know within the tribe and people in here, like I said, there's Laureen, there's Raven, there's Sia, I think Debrina. So all these tribe members do this stuff on their own, and they really love it. So, and they're well versed in it. They've been doing it for a long time. So if that, resonates with you, you can learn from the people who've been doing it in a very sacred way.
And a lot of you star seeds out there are going to feel a little uncomfortable and uneasy, yet drawn to it. Because in previous lifetimes and the kind of collective energy with star seeds is the dark workers that wanted to use evil and call upon spirits. You didn't want to have anything to do with them. So you moved out of that particular polarity. And then the ones that were supposedly serving the light were far too religious and too strict and wanted you to serve something else that you didn't want to be around them either. So both sides have hated the star seeds and been after them and have persecuted them because we don't adhere to either side. We adhere to the oneness of the light. And the show is called Dark to Light. If you're not looking in the dark to shine light on it, how are you going to see what's there?
So true.
Darkness is essentially the unknown. If you are seeking to injure someone, if you're seeking to gain power by giving away your own energy, gain prestige, be a celebrity by calling on dark forces and dark spirits, that is not what working with the dark is. That's working with evil. That's working with the reverse of live, evil.
So with that said, again, we're not here to change anything. Just we're offering information. What works for you, take it away. Incorporate it if you choose, but we are not here to change anyone's belief system. We are, and nor are we here to argue. We're just here to offer years and years and years. I've been doing spell work since I was in my teens. I think I got my first spell book when I was 12. I told him about it. I remember going and hiding in the library to grab some of these books when I was very young. So, do what resonates with you. With that said, how does this work into manifesting? Well, here's how. Okay, we're going to give you a couple things to prepare for moving into 2022. If you are getting a strong pull to anything ancient civilization, that is because you're in 5D. That is because you're literally already sort of existing or coexisting with the Nova Earth. So you're not going to be part of this new world order they're trying to push us in. You're going to be the black sheep of that. So things around you you think things didn't make sense before, things really won't make sense, because if you're getting pulled back to really ancient times or having time traveling or astral traveling to old timelines and really ancient things, that is because your soul is screaming to become the soul you are meant to be for the Nova Earth. It's part of our soul mission. So have fun. Go out of your comfort zone. Walker and I are very big on this inner child stuff. Don't think for a second that ritual work or spell work or witchcraft books or anything like that isn't part of your inner child. Don't forget our skill set, our intuitive psychic mediumship, our natural born energy work that we're born with is suppressed the minute we come out, whether it's through a C-section or a vaginal delivery, because of the environment, because of the trauma. So if you're getting really pulled towards anything like that, to pull out that inner child's creativity and play with plant medicine. I had a young kid call today on a reading. He's so drawn to ayahuasca. He said he woke up and it was like almost like a panic that he had to do this with a shaman. That is a sign that your soul has awakened to what we're moving into. For
if someone's going into it to have a good time, it's the opposite. That's the time when they wake up with the panic after they've done ayahuasca, not before.
No, but he woke up and he was very into crystals and things like this. He said Perfect. It was like an overnight thing, but that's what's happening. So moving into 2022, let me just tell you all about the energy. We are in the strongest boomerang effect after 12/21. Now more than ever, watch your words and watch your thoughts, because it is a full effect boomerang, meaning what you say boomerangs back, and it's an instant vibration and frequency. Normally, we have a little time to play with it. If you notice, I'm constantly saying cancel, clear, delete, cancel, clear. I actually have it on my shirt. Cancel, clear, delete, cancel, clear, delete. I'm saying it over and over and over because it's that fast right now. After 12/21, it's going to be even faster. Cancel, clear, delete. So make sure you're using that line coined by moi, Motherella. All right. So another good tool, manifest small, small, big. Small, small to big. And here's why. Talk about that. So we teach the 4-hour concept. Now, this is very different than...
It's very new.
It's not about... If anyone read the book, The 4-Hour Work Week, this is not in the same hemisphere.
No.
This has to do with vibrational matching of frequency and vibration to your Quantum Playbook for manifesting.
That book is about time management.
Right. So, but I'm letting people know in case they've read like the 4-Hour Work Week. This has the 4 hours a day we're talking about is energy.
This is about dimensional management.
Good. Yes. Yes. Oh my God. I love that. Okay. So go ahead, explain that, because we were talking about this part.
So with what we're talking about now, this is very new. This has happened just recently as we're kind of moving into this. I guess you'd say it's the final.
It's the final.
The final transitionary play out because it's kind of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening now, and I think I discussed this a little bit, there are, out of every goal that you have, whether it's long-term or short-term, thinking about 2022 or thinking about your career in the new year, all of those things are pushing your thoughts forward, right, into a worry pattern of hope. Yet when there's a focus way out here, there's only the experience of what hasn't worked from the past that is in your sphere. So as you move forward and say, I want this, but there has been an experience of not having it, the potential to have that by thinking into the future, projecting your thoughts into the future, is going to replay the past.
Mm-hmm.
So what we talk about then is projecting yourself. Okay, what does that timeline look like? Okay, I can see what kind of person I am. I see what kind of job I have. I see all these things, blah, blah, blah. And then instead of still focusing there, coming back to this moment and saying, I have 4 hours to be the person that gets to experience that reality. Now, there is 3 potential realities in every hour of those 4. Meaning, if you are being that person and you are in self-awareness in that hour, keeping that focus, okay? Oh my gosh, this thing just happened and whatever. And you're like, is that the kind of person that I want to be? Oh, I got hijacked by something. Okay, whatever that is in me, I'm going to release that because I am becoming that reality. You choose that same thing, that same person you want to be every hour of those 4 hours. If you plan past 4 hours, the 5th hour will hijack the first.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be nothing like what you think. In the second hour, it can look like it's being hijacked because, like I said, there's 3 potential realities in every hour. So you essentially have 3 4 hours a day to manifest one thing, and that is, who are you being?
Or what do you want?
Well, what you want has to come down to what kind of person gets to enjoy this thing, right? What is that? If this person has this particular thing or does this particular thing, what do they act like? What is their vibration like? You remember when you're sitting around the other day and you're like, well, that's not going to happen because this and this and that. And I said, well, the potential reality that you want definitely can't happen if you're thinking this way because you're not being that person. And you're like, oh yeah, right? That it was just that sudden awareness that goes, oh, I can change that dimensional reality in every hour. The more awareness that I have within every hour, the more probability I have of being that person in those 4 hours.
And now explain why it was like that in those 4 hours. There's something that we need to explain to them when it comes to hijacking.
With the 5th hour?
Well, that instance you're talking about happened after I was already hijacked.
Right.
Which is in the 5th hour.
Right.
So explain to them why it was like that and how I had already spiraled because I was already hijacked. So when you're hijacked, you tend to think this way. No joke. So go ahead.
Well, there's a difference between spiraling and spinning. And she was definitely spinning. So spinning is the awareness that you're about to spiral. So you just go around. So you're not going down the drain, but you feel like any minute you might be. But the awareness is keeping you afloat because you're just like, okay, I'm triggered. I'm spinning. Okay, here I am. So she was spinning. Anything within that time from a previous experience is ready to show up in her reality right now at a moment's notice because it's what? Familiar.
Mm-hmm.
So she unconsciously or subconsciously can attract that into that space within that time frame, and then we're going to watch the spiral happen, right?
Which I'm very aware of.
That's why she's spinning. So she'll look at me and she'll go, okay, I'm spinning.
Yeah, I just got hijacked.
Just spinning. I got hijacked. The self-awareness of going, I just got hijacked. If you think of that, like hijacking something means it takes it over. Mm-hmm. So if you're aware that something has taken over, like a trauma or inner child anguish, that awareness allows that processing to take place. She stopped spiraling and she just kind of kept spinning. And then from that point, while she was spinning, that's when I said, okay, well, what kind of person? And she's like, well, this isn't happening or this isn't happening. And I said, well, none of the potential realities of what you want can happen if this is your belief system and your thoughts right now.
From the hijacking. So that's when ritual work comes in for me.
Exactly.
Because I'm so aware that I immediately move into spiritual work and I start basically repelling the hijack, because we can block the matrix. I know people can't feel it or see it the way some of us can, such as myself. I know exactly when it's happening. I can see the energy when it's happening. I actually see how it comes right at me. Not everybody can see it that way, but the awareness is all that matters. It doesn't matter if you can see it or feel it or anything. It's the key that you're aware of that quick flip of the switch. And it's what you do in that time that really matters. So when you're spiraling, if you are aware of it, that's when you can interject your request for divine intervention.
Mm-hmm.
You can start doing rescripting of your own mind. You can start intervening with yourself by talking to yourself and reversing the words or the thoughts. Or you can go right into ritual work. I carry oil with me. Sometimes it'll be to the point where I'll just jump in the shower, right? There's times I'll just jump in and I'm doing body scrubs or, bath salts or whatever, or inhaling. I'm tons with the inhalers in the shower. Or I do bay leaf ritual work. So I do tons of bay leaves. He's always
put that into your solation, right?
Yeah. Bay leaf is going into solation.
Things completely shift
immediately.
Yes, immediately.
From my bay leaf ritual work. So this is when you can actually block, for your manifesting, the reverse from happening.
And think of
you can throw back the boomerang.
Spirit ritual work as awareness.
Yeah.
It is like a runaway train, and instead of panicking, you suddenly slow down time. Mm-hmm. And you look at all the things you can do to either stop the train, slow it down, get it on another track, all of these different things.
Mm-hmm.
Showers, like she was saying, and what we're getting in the comments, showers are really important because it is a washing away of the energy physically, the things that are sticking to your skin and your body. There is a tremendous amount of dense energy and things within that energy sprayed into our skies that is literally blocking your energy field on your skin. Mm-hmm. So in order to breathe, for your body to take a breath, a shower is very important. And you can also intend certain things in the shower. Like you can say, like, you can close your eyes and imagine that it is like this rose gold water flowing over you, or this violet, pink, turquoise kind of thing that's like cleansing your heart and your skin. When you close your eyes, it's even more powerful to visualize all of this stuff coming off of you.
Or you can do like me, because I'm crazy about low lighting, and I actually have LED lights in my shower that change color.
That's true.
And I'm constantly playing with the color. If I'm feeling rose, I go to rose. If I feel blue, I go to blue. If I feel green. So I have 2 LED lights. I don't ever shower in the light. He knows that. Mm-hmm. Unless it's morning, and even in the morning, the light's off.
Well, most of those lights are, incandescent bulbs and fluorescent lighting.
I know, but it creates the mood for me to perform whatever it is I need to perform for the ritual, for ritual work. So I think this was a good topic, and I hope this helps you going into 2022. So really stay connected to whatever you're drawn to. And,
playing music's huge. She just said she plays music when in the shower.
Yeah, Sandy, that's great.
Just huge in general.
That's really good. That's excellent. That's really invigorating for energy. Mm-hmm. So
listen to the light code.
Yeah, listen to the light code, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll have some announcements. I hope this helped a lot of people going into 2022. Go out and manifest big. Here are the announcements. Then we'll take some questions. 2 weeks we are taking off. 2 weeks. That includes the tribe. Doing videos, getting videos. We need a break. And I'm being honest when I say we need a break. So he's more likely to work than I am. I will dig my foot in to make sure that we're not working. So with that said, after December or up to December 23rd, you will be flooded with, should I say, the completion of the tribe book, the first book that we have written together. The videos are our book before it goes to print. So the completion of the book, there's 4 videos for the book completion. Then you are getting the hybrid light code, and you're getting the celestial light code for the Fae. That I'm so excited about those. And you'll get your normal prediction for this week and next week, but then I am done and I'm not doing any channeling for that time that we are off. And then I'm going to be doing only for the tribe a galactic connection meditation. So you'll be getting all that to cover the 2 weeks while we're off. It's a lot of work beforehand, but it's worth it because we don't want to work for those 2 weeks.
So for everyone in the tribe, you'll still basically be getting what you would be getting in those 2 weeks. You're just going to get it all at once, and then we'll be off for those 2 weeks.
Yep, and you're getting a lot of stuff. Moving into 2022, everything, the format, everything is changing. With that said, you asked us, we heard you, we are creating the extension of the tribe in a private community group page where all of you get to talk to each other, share photos, share stories, share pictures. And I know I said I was leaving Facebook multiple times because of what happened with Metaverse. However, some of the updates that were created by Facebook happen to be, I know it, as hard as it is, the best group experience that's out there. So because our work is social media, we have to pull the positives out of why it's there, even though a lot of it is very negative, and utilize it in the 5th dimensional space to our advantage. And that is how we operate. If it's working to our advantage and we can get around the
opinion checkers.
Well, and a lot of other things, then we're going to keep using what exists because it's really easy. So we are creating an extension to the Vimeo group just for tribe members, and you'll be able to interact and communicate. Now,
my notifications will not be on.
His won't be at. First of all, you got banned off Facebook, so Walker won't be able to go on unless it's through my page. But long story short, that is where you'll have some surprise things coming up in January and February with us. And I'll give you a hint, it'll be once a month. So I feel like the tribe members deserve a space outside of Vimeo that you can upload pictures and stories and videos and kind of talk to each other, but it is going to be moderated. It's going to be moderated, and it's going to be only for subscription paying tribe members. So anyone that you know that can benefit from the tribe or join the tribe moving into the new season, now's the time to maybe get them maybe a month as a Christmas gift, or maybe they're having a hard time and you think it might brighten their mood. Getting them in now so they start in 2022 badass, and then they'll be a part of this VIP group.
There's so much content for them to crush if they start now.
Yep. So also with that, Debrina said she can't because of that. All you have to, should I say what you have to do?
Yeah,
we'll email you and tell you how to get around that. So don't worry, we got you. Email us though, because I'll forget. So please email me about that and I'll tell you how to work around that. Solation is going to be the same. Those who are in solation, I'm creating and also a VIP solation circle into the Facebook group, so you can upload and have a lot more deeper interaction and connection. And both groups will now be able to have what we call rooms. And so the rooms will be, you guys can connect and sort of see each other, whether it's through Zoom or through Facebook itself. So that's changing. That's coming up. Okay. So Solation will be pummeled with more videos too, so we can have the 2 weeks off. Did I forget anything? I think we got it all.
It's all before we go on our 2 weeks. So yeah.
It's before we go on our 2 weeks. So everything will be loaded by the 23rd. And then unless it's an emergency, we will, be checking in for emails and stuff. Now, our schedule for readings of us together is still open, but in a shorter time frame. So those who still need readings, we are going to still be doing readings, but we shortened our schedule to 4 hours for the 2 days that we do it. So we can still do readings and CVRs.
Yep.
And I'm missing one thing. Oh, in the galactic reads, like the 3-question readings. Those are still going to be operating.
Rainbow Child readings too.
And the what?
Rainbow Child.
Oh yeah, and the Rainbow Child Light readings. So that isn't work for us, so we don't count that as work. It take the time. The tribe in Solation is the bulk of our work.
Yep.
So that is really the truth. Everything else isn't work to us. Like readings aren't work for us. It's like fun.
So when you're in the tribe, remember that there's a few free videos in there.
Oh yeah.
Share those with friends or people that you feel could benefit from. There's one of the light codes is free, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember which one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure which one. I'll double check. But you can share that.
Archangel or something, right?
Maybe it's Archangels. Share that with friends or people that could use that vibrational upliftment, that awakening and that connection. I believe it's the Archangel. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sia. Yeah, the Archangel light codes. That'd be really huge for us if you could share that with other people so that they could have that kind of gift to themselves and kind of see what the tribe is about, because they're not just meditations, as you all know, as you're all very aware of. They're actual DNA synergistic activations of your light body.
Yep. So we hope you enjoyed the show. Unfortunately, we're already at the end. We love you all. Thank you for joining us. Next week, we have our final show before break, and that is going to be the collective conscious meditation live with us that day.
Yep.
So that's going to be fun.
Make sure we'll do an announcement on that. Make sure you tell your friends, everybody, if anyone, like I said, wants that uplifting vibration. This is the final thing for the collective moving into the Nova year.
Exactly. So, all right. Hugs to you. Have a great night. We thank you for joining us. We love you all, and see you next Wednesday, 7
Take great
p.m.
care, everyone.
Central Standard Time.
Bye.
Bye.